I'm joined by Joel Patterson as a workplace expert, and he heads up the Vested Group. It's a firm that's always on the best places to work list. And I've read this story from the Wall Street Journal where workers waking up to emails and team meeting requests with a jarring message. They aren't fired, but their jobs are gone. What exactly is this, and how is it working? Joel, good morning.
Good morning. And it's just another one of the trends that is somewhat of a trend, but is certainly something that we're seeing for some people, or what they're encountering a slight change in their profession without asking for it. And really what we're talking about is a practice where companies, they eliminate positions without terminating them.
Yeah.
So maybe they move them to a new role that has different requirements, or maybe they ask them to relocate. Now, this can be a good thing. Some companies, instead of letting people go, they're just trying to reassign them. And I can tell you just from experience that, we've got people here internally in my company that we just love them. And sometimes they're not perfect in the role that we have them in. And so we move them to other roles in order to find the best way to leverage their skills. I mean, that can be a good thing, but that can also lead to things that are maybe not quite as wanted by, moving people simply to keep them from getting a severance package. If you could very easily use this as a way to just save the company money and let people hang on for a little while. I don't see a lot of businesses doing that, but it's certainly something to be aware of.
It's so interesting because we had, when we hit COVID, we had everybody quietly going away from work. You had some people who said, hey, my job isn't worth what I'm doing here, so I'm just going to walk away from it. And then we had, people saying, with the government largesse in our pockets, didn't have to worry about it. Now people are getting more invested in their work. They're getting back into the workforce and the workplace. And this happens. And it's almost like COVID was a wake-up call for these companies as well, saying, hey, there's a non-traditional way of doing things we haven't really examined much of.
Yeah, the reality is, nothing is normal still. It's 2023, almost 24, and since COVID, companies are still trying to figure out the right way to interact with their employees, keep them engaged, keep them productive, and when they resort to things like this that seems a little bit toxic, they're not helping themselves.
Yeah.
It's still difficult to find really good employees. So make sure that you're treating them well and you're coaching them and not managing them. And if you're going to have difficult conversations, just have the conversation. Don't just move somebody to a different department and hope they don't notice, because they're gonna. And you got to make sure that you're keeping them engaged long term, not just for this short period where you've got to overcome some disruptions in the whatever's going on in your world and in your industries.
Yeah, role reassignment. I know a couple of people who are small business owners that since COVID, they purchased other companies or other organizations. They've absorbed competitors, and that's what they've had to do. Is they've said, okay, I know that this person is going to be a good fit in the future. I just need to keep them on board until I can make the changes that are necessary. A part of it would seem that maybe making them a part of that climate as well, and maybe putting them instead of just setting them on the bench, maybe make them part of an advisory board or something like that. I don't know. Hey, Joel, appreciate your time. Joel Patterson, how do people find you at the Vested Group?
TheVested.com, and if you know what NetSuite is, you should give us a call.
All right.